On the Choose to Think podcast, I will encourage and empower you to engage and optimize your best thought life in practical, meaningful ways so that you can live day by day in joy, peace, and God's purpose despite all externals. This is Victoria, and welcome back to the Choose to Think podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, and welcome back to the Choose to Think podcast. I'm Victoria, and I couldn't thank you enough for pressing play on another week's episode. We are continuing with our Choose to Think About Your Physical Health series that we started a couple of weeks ago. These episodes drop every Monday through the year. And today I have 10 tips for you on how to stay healthy over these next couple of weeks. Certainly, these are things that you don't want to just do over the next couple of weeks, but that you're going to want to continue into the new year for sure. And so I'm going to run through this list, and then at the end of the show, I want to share with you a couple of things that I have going, as well as a freebie I'd like to offer you. So make sure you stay tuned. And if you're listening on YouTube and you like what you hear, would you give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, even hit the notification, that little icon, that little bell icon to show your support. If you're just here for the first time, you're like, wait, why is she asking that? So no worries. But for some of you who've been listening for a while, I would really appreciate that. Apparently it helps with the algorithm and all that jazz. So let's just jump right into these 10 action items that we can do. They're really good habits to start, and we want to especially be mindful of over these next couple of weeks as we work our way to the end of the year. Number one, have you ever been standing in front of the health food snack section and you know better than to believe all the advertising on the so-called healthy packages? Ever been there and it's kind of overwhelming? You're like, gosh, I don't know. This says it's really healthy and it's organic and I think I need to buy that. But let me tell you about an app that I discovered just last week. It's called Bobby Approved. That's Bobby Approved. And you can find Bobby's YouTube channel, which is called Flav City, Flavcity. I'll put the links in the show notes. But to use his app, he's going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And all you have to do is use your phone and you scan the barcode of whatever item you're looking at, and then you're going to get that thumbs up or thumbs down. This guy's really good. He's considering a whole lot of factors to give the thumbs up or thumbs down, like all the additives, the saturated fat, the sodium, the added sugars, the amount of processing in a particular packaged item that you're looking at. So keep in mind, the fewer the ingredients, the better. But be really careful with all that food that you think is healthy, but probably has stuff thrown in that neither you nor I could even pronounce. Number two, do you want many of the benefits of wine, but you don't want the alcohol? You don't want that in your body and in your brain and all that? Try organic grape juice instead. Pour a bit into a wine glass and voila. I want to read to you a little bit from a Mayo Clinic article about just this topic, and they say this, quote, "Some research suggests that red and purple grape juices may provide some of the same heart benefits of red wine, including reducing the risk of blood clots, reducing low-density lipoprotein, and that would be the LDL or the bad cholesterol, preventing damage to blood vessels in your heart, helping maintain a healthy blood pressure. Grapes are rich in health-protecting antioxidants, including resveratrol and flavonoids. These antioxidants are found mainly in the skin, stem, leaf, and seeds of grapes, rather than in their pulp. The amount of antioxidants in grapes depends on many factors, including the kind of grape, its geographic origin, and how it's processed. Dark red and purple grapes tend to be higher in antioxidants than our white or green grapes. Likewise, the level of antioxidants, such as resveratrol, found in wine varies, with higher levels in red wine. So I'm going to give you the link for, and that's the end of that quote, but I'm going to give you the link for the grape juice that I like to enjoy. I'll put that in the show notes for you. I chill it, and then I do serve it in little wine glasses just to have fun. And I know I don't drink much of it, maybe just a couple of ounces, because you don't have to drink much. I mean, there are going to be the natural sugars that occur there, so you might want to be mindful of that. But I love knowing that I'm getting all those health benefits, and I don't have to worry about the alcohol portion of it at all. Now, I will say that in this Mayo Clinic article, the gal at the end said, you know what, just consuming the regular grapes is really healthy as well. So that's another thing to consider. We can always go for that. But if you want something funsy during the holidays, that's, what I might suggest. All right, number 3, and we've all heard it 1,000 times, ditch the sugar. Try substituting fresh or dried fruit instead. Make your own hot cocoa with monk fruit or stevia blend. Skip dessert and go meet someone new at a party or during dinner. Talk to someone. Focus more on the people around you than all the food items. Steer the conversation to life issues instead of fixating on food. Try really listening to what someone's saying about their job or their next adventure or a trip they've taken or some project they have going on. Try just listening to them and giving them some feedback. You'll really enjoy that. Number 4, I know you're in a hurry, and that's with a capital H, hurry, right? As we're getting closer to Christmas, but don't allow your haste to put pounds around your waist. Go ahead and keep healthy trail mix in your car or have cut veggies ready to grab, like put them in little Ziplocs and just grab one as you go, as you're rushing out the door. And you might really love those Inno Foods keto nuggets or the Trader Joe whipped honey mints that I talked about last week. They have a little bit of sugar. So I know you're ditching the sugar, but they've got like some of the sugar alcohols, so they're lower in carbs, and at least honey's a natural sugar. On the mints, there's no added sugar to the dark chocolate. So those would also be some healthy snacks. Sometimes you just want something really simple, but if you're in a hurry, we end up saying, I'm just going to go get a donut, or I'm just going to go to the bakery, or I'm going to go get that particular beverage that I love, which is loaded. So if you can kind of curb that and have something readily available that you carry around with you, that might be just what you need, especially when you're rushing around like crazy. Number 5, try to avoid caffeine later in the day. We all know that too, but go for green tea instead. It may just be the boost that you need in the later afternoon. And you can go back and check out the episode that we did on green tea and all the brainy benefits to it. I'll also put an affiliate link in the show notes so you can see my favorite afternoon teas from Harney & Sons. Number 6, this year when you meet friends, plan an exercise date instead of, say, meeting at a restaurant or, lingering at a coffee house. And I know that's all fun. I love to do it too, but I'm just trying to give you some alternatives here that are really healthy. And often I actually have a friend, she and I walk at the mall quite a bit. So we're actually walking. If the weather's bad, we're walking, we're getting our heart rate pumping. We are connecting with each other and having really wonderful conversations as we're walking around and getting our steps in. You can even pick a really nice day, if it is one, and go for a walk. Even if it feels kind of brisk outside, you're going to be so glad you did. You'll soak up all that vitamin D and just imagine all that fresh air. So dress up in a gazillion layers if you need to, but get outside if you can. Take your little pup if you can. I'm thinking of Rico here. Instead of sitting and lingering over coffee too much, you could even arrange a Zoom, online meeting where you catch up, but you're chatting and you're riding your exercise cycle all the time. Or you're just kind of walking on a treadmill while you chat with your friend. You could even kind of tread lightly on a trampoline like I spoke about last week. You don't have to be jumping like crazy and rebounding. You could just be walking in place. But the point is that you're trying to double dip with your social life and your health life as much as possible. It will be good for you and your friend. Number 7, I know you've heard this too, but when you order a meal at a sit-down restaurant, ask the waiter to bring your to-go box with your meal. All right, that's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? Because you want to avoid the temptation of eating everything, especially eating it fast, something like that. But when you get your to-go box, immediately divide things in half or thirds, and you keep a third on your plate and put 2/3 into the to-go box so that you can have another healthy meal later. I hope you made a healthy choice on that meal you ordered. You could even arrange to split your meal with a friend if you're traveling and you don't have access to a fridge. In other words, you're not going to use a to-go box. But be sure to choose vegan items or lean meats and fish. Avoid all that fried and fatty stuff. Your heart and liver will thank you. And you don't want to feel lethargic in your life. At least I don't want to. I want to be energetic, have lots of energy to do all the things that I'm wanting to do. Number 8, water, water, water. Yep, I made a pact with myself each day that right after my morning coffee, and I do half and half coffee, I'm not fully loaded with all that caffeine, even in the morning, but right after I finish that, I start on my water intake. And I do not kind of, quote, allow myself that afternoon green tea at 2 until I've drunk at least 40 ounces of water first. Then after my tea, I start on my next 40 ounces. And let me just tell you, it's hard to get anything else in there, like a soda. When I started drinking water, I didn't have any space in my stomach for sodas. I haven't had like a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero, which I used to love and have one every day. I don't even have any room for those anymore. And just by avoiding all the other beverages until I get my water in, it, number 1, keeps water my priority, and number 2, helps me to avoid some of those otherwise not so healthy chemical, artificial sugar, laden beverages. Number 9, try standing more than sitting, even if you're wrapping Christmas gifts. Did you know you burn more calories this way? And you can get your heart pumping also. Take frequent breaks if you're stuck at a computer screen or a desk. It's good for your eyes and your circulation. I use a timer, setting it for 20 minutes. Then I reset it for 5 minutes, during which time I stand up, I stretch, I throw a load of laundry in the washer, I make a quick call, or I scrub some dishes. And let me tell you, it's amazing what you can actually get done in just 5 minutes. Then when that goes off, I come back to my desk and I sit for another 20. So I'm on the 20, then 5, the 20, then 5, the 20, and 5 kind of routine. That's the way I like to do it. I could even use that 5 minutes just to jump on the trampoline or jump on the exercycle. So get creative with how you can get your steps in every day and how you can also get some teeny things done around your house. Even just, maybe you get a box on your front doorstep and you can go out there, grab the box, open it, make sure your item is not damaged, it's what you ordered, and then recycle the box and put the gift or whatever it is you've ordered, put it in the place where you're going to be wrapping gifts. You can do all of that in 5 minutes, and suddenly it's something you have done, plus you've moved around a little bit. And the last one, number 10, finally, if you notice that you're feeling a bit antsy, or you keep going for the candy jar, looking for a bit of comfort, stress relief, distraction, or avoidance, take a moment to slow down and try to figure out what you're thinking about. Jot down a few of your most troublesome thoughts and emotions and feelings. Sit down and make a can control and can't control list. And then once you look at what you can't control, you're going to kind of let those items go, and you're going to shift your thoughts and your emotional energy onto what you actually can control. Invite God into this process. Surrender your worries to Him. He tells us that His yoke is easy and light, and we want to be yoked with Him, especially during exceptionally busy seasons of our life, like the holidays. And also, go easy on yourself. Remember to speak to yourself just like you would speak to a dear friend. Lower your expectations a bit this year. So what if you didn't get the gift that you actually wanted to buy for Aunt Lucy? Just allow yourself to be human. So what if that dessert you were going to take or the healthy blah blah that you were going to make for the big office party was a flop and didn't turn out? So what? Just be human and focus on what really matters most. that you have the Holy Spirit with you as your comforter and your guide, and that Jesus Christ took the nail for you, and that there's nothing you could do to outrun His grace, His mercy, and His love for you. So take a deep breath, reprioritize, and pray. Believe me, these are things that, yes, they're good for your emotional health, but they're also so good for your physical health as well. And this may be a difficult season for you for a lot of reasons, but you're not alone. So be encouraged by these 10 little tips to help you navigate this season in the making healthy choices and really being on your game, but also going easy on yourself if you're like, no, I'm just not, I don't have the energy even for that. I know how that is too. I've had seasons of my life just like that, which is one of the reasons I wrote a devotional for you. Because if you're looking for a really awesome gift for yourself or for a loved one and you're stumped on what to get them, please get your copy of my 365-day devotional called Choose to Think, Find Peace, Joy, Hope, Health, and Freedom every day. What better way to start 2022 than by digging into God's Word daily through a scripture passage, by encouraging your heart with an I choose affirmation that you can kind of meditate on that day, by reading a passage, something to illustrate the point and to tie into the scriptural passage, by answering some reflection questions in your journal, and then by praying. That's kind of the way this is laid out, this devotional is laid out. Each day is designed to be completed in about 5 to 10 minutes. And yep, the link is in the show notes. And also, did you get your free copy of the Ultimate Christmas Survival Guide? Well, along with all the tips that I've offered you today, you're going to love this survival kit because it has ways, little printable, downloadable sheets and lists and like little checklists, everything you need to help you stay really organized and on top of things over the next couple of weeks. So please be sure to get that guide. It's all for you. And until next time, Dios primero y que Dios te bendiga. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. And that's a wrap, Brain Changer. Thank you so much for tuning in. And say, if you like what you hear, please consider sharing this link to the show with a friend or a family member who you think might be encouraged by the inspiring and hope-filled messages that I try to put out every single week. So thank you so much for your support. And until next time, Dios primero y que Dios te bendiga. Ciao.